One of the fake nerve problems that they do to me is the twitching of the bottom of my feet, either randomly, especially while I'm resting, or in reaction to something like in a movie. They want me to believe that I have some sort of a weakness towards women's feet that shakes down the core of my nervous system to the point that my own feet begin to twitch, which is absurd. First of all, what is the connection between women's feet and my own feet? There is no connection, right? Whatever interest I may have in women's feet is not supposed to affect my own feet, right? What do my own feet have to do with it? That's the first part. Secondly, I'm getting this feeling that this strong feeling. So trying to make the impression that I have inside me a weakness towards women's feet that is so powerful that it can potentially make me, it's so ridiculous, sell my soul for that. Sell my soul for some kind of interaction with women's feet. It's so absurd beyond any reason. Like, it is retarded completely. They're trying to suggest that I'm going to, like, even do some kind of training program that is meant for slaves, just so I could have some sort of interaction with women's feet. I don't know, it's absurd, it is stupid. Sometimes I like women's feet. And nowadays, rarely, I do think about foot jobs. I do. And it's not any woman, it has to be a skinny, gentle, white, young woman with feet that also look skinny, gentle, and feminine. But I'm obviously not going to sell my soul for a foot job or whatever interaction with women's feet. What kind of person would do that? I'm not going to sell myself for anything, even if they offer me a huge amount of money. If they offer me all sorts of sexual pleasure and women, and not just women's feet, but in all sorts of way, I am not going to sell my soul, okay? Much less for something so pathetic as interaction with women's feet. It's like, saying you're going to sell your soul for $50. No matter how you look at it, saying that you're going to sell yourself for interaction with women's feet, it appears like something really cheap, right? Like saying you'd be ever you'd go as far as sell your soul for basically nothing. Am I really that kind of person to have that kind of pathetic behavior inside of me? I even have a proof that it is not true. When I started working again, I uh, I don't know why, but once I started having money and earning money, I had this thought about spending time with a prostitute. For the reason that I found one that was actually very attractive to me, this pale Russian girl with a skinny body, young, in her 20s, with the black hair and pale skin. And I also thought about receiving a food job from her. But you see, even if I was, and she was very attractive to me, more attractive than girls who are not prostitutes, like those ugly girls and ugly women outside there. She was very attractive to me, her face, her body, and everything. And it would cost uh, like $300 to spend 1 hour with her. And no matter how attracted I was to her, I was not going to pay her $300. That's like several, even many times of what I earn in 1 hour as a computer programmer. And you know, prostitute's job is like, it doesn't require that much brain, and I'm supposed to pay her many times of what I earn per hour. Wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna pay her like several tens of hours of my time. I value my time. I work, I put effort in the money that I earn. I don't care how attractive she is. I'm not gonna pay her $300. Yet those fuckers think I would go as far as selling my soul and do a training program that takes months or even years for a foot job, when I refuse to pay even $300 to a really, really attractive girl. They're out of their mind. I'm not selling my soul for a foot job. Fuck off this stupid idea. I'm not even paying $300. And you know, this training thing, it takes so much commitment, a dedication, and you're going to think that I'm going to put all that commitment and dedication for a fucking foot job. What kind of an insult is that? Obviously, if I'm going to work very hard for, it's so that my life will be really great, so I'd become successful, so I'd be healthy, free, and rich, and good looking, and that I'd be able to help my family also. Why insult me by saying, you know, every twitch in my foot is telling me that they're trying to create an impression that I am going to work very hard for nothing, that I'm going to throw it all away. There is only one thing that is a sort of temptation in what to do with my training, which may not seem normal, is to become a transgender person, which I don't know what kind of consequences it would have. The reason for this is because I've discovered that apparently this training thing, if you do if you do segments that are beyond a certain length, they become to transform your physique into that of a female. And that is a very curious thing to me. Like, how would I feel, and how would that affect me? And how would I feel as a natural transgender person, not someone who is taking hormones and who become transgender by drugs, but one who is transformed naturally. That's the only thing that right now and for a while has been on my mind that could possibly set me off the rails. So it's either I'd be on the proper track, or I'd go sideways and become transgender. There is no such a case scenario where I'd be taking all that effort and give it for some present for some slave driver because he offers me some interaction with women's feet. I will not be this absolute loser that you're trying to make me seem by twitching the bottom of my feet, telling me that I have some weakness that is so bad that I'd be willing to give my soul for that, which is retarded beyond any idea. Like I said, I wouldn't even pay $300, let alone sell my fucking soul. And yes, that prostitute was very attractive, but I would not pay her. This is my hard-earned money. And the training is far more than that. It's a lot more effort and commitment and time. When I'm not willing to pay $300, you think I'm going to pay with something that takes a lot more dedication and commitment? The training is far more than those meager $300. The $300 are nothing compared to the effort that I put in my training. The $300 are hard earned, but not anywhere nearly in the effort that I put in my training. Yet you seriously think that I'm going to give this far more expensive thing for some stupid bitch And her stupid feet. When you give me that kind of idea, I want to take a knife and stab her feet with that knife. When you even suggest that something that I work so hard for, it takes years to succeed at that training, and you seriously think that just for some foot job I'm going to throw it all away in the garbage and even worse, make a slave of myself? What kind of idiotic suggestion is that? Fuck off with twitching my feet. I don't have that kind of pathetic thing inside of me. Like I said, I wouldn't even pay $300. And yes, she was attractive. She was very attractive, and I wouldn't pay her money.